Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I have finished exploring the Valley of the Sith, and I'm ready to go back to the Academy to tell Ultar of all of my accomplishments, which should net me enough prestige to advance to the final test.
So you managed to kill Shardan, did you? Good news travels quickly. Well done. He wouldn't have made a good Sith anyway. One less opponent is an excellent result, regardless of how it occurs, correct? Now then, something you needed.
I want to talk about you.
I would prefer not to discuss that.
I'd really like to hear this tale.
Why? There is no point. Have I asked you about your past?
Well, is there harm in telling me?
There is always harm in becoming too vulnerable. I will not be as weak as you desire. Is there something else you needed? I have been involved in the work there over the last couple of years, but we could learn much about the history of the ancient, perhaps. As you... I would prefer not to discuss that.
But I'd really like to hear it.
Why? There is no point. Have I asked you about your past?
Well, perhaps we could become friends. Or maybe something more.
I see. You certainly have odd notions for one hoping to become a Sith. I'll play along. For now. Let's see. After escaping from Slaheron, I was found by the Jedi. They took me in and trained me, even though I was a bit older than most Padawan.
You were a Jedi?
Not really, no. I never progressed beyond Padawan. I had discipline, but no peace. And after my treatment at the hands of the Hutts, there was little room in me for the ways of the Jedi. I wanted to use the Force to free the other slaves I knew, to fight for what I knew was right. The Jedi restrained me until I couldn't stand it anymore. They claim the dark side is evil, but that isn't so. Sometimes anger and hatred are so deserved and right. Sometimes things change because of it.
But not always. Mostly it makes things worse.
Any failure to get the results I want is due to a lack of power on my part. That can change in time. As a Sith, my mettle is tested far more than when I was a Padawan. I know this may sound strange, but only my compassion stands in my way now. Once that is gone, let the slavers beware.
But if you lose your compassion, will you still care about those slaves?
Yes, of course. I mean losing my compassion, as in holding back. But enough of that. I have talked about myself too much. Surely you are tired of it. Come back soon, my friend.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. Yuthura is a really cool character because that's a very sympathetic motivation for a Sith. And it kinda makes sense if you look at how the Jedi operate. Even in the movies, they deliberate and sort of sit on their asses so much that sometimes they do fail to address actual critical issues about society and stuff. For example, slavery. There is slavery in the galaxy, and it always made me weirded out how Qui-Gon Jinn in The Phantom Menace was perfectly willing to deal with slavers. He just wanted to get Anakin out, but he never really cared about getting his mom out, or, the slaves in general, which, the latter goal might be unreasonable to expect. But if they got his mom out, there's a chance he would never have fallen to the dark side. So, it's a pretty sympathetic backstory for Yuthura, and I do agree with her, actually, that sometimes anger is deserved. For example, I happen to think exactly the same as she does about slavers. I think they might very well deserve to die. Like, You know, they are so abhorrent, and the things that they do to other people are so wrong on such a fundamental level that I don't think they can actually be redeemed by any number of talking or, you know, preaching peace or whatever. Some people just need their asses whipped. Because at a certain point, if you're going to keep turning the other cheek, people are just going to suffer, and there's going to be no gain, because some people will never be moved by such selfless compassion. They will just exploit it to hurt people more. So I think it's a, you know, that's a very nice character, and it's a pity it's not explored more. But even within the scope of what it is, it's still one of the most interesting characters in the game.
Do not forget our agreement regarding Yuthura's treachery. We shall put her in her place, should you reach the final test, that is.
I dealt with those renegade students.
Ah, the ones I ordered executed for their mutiny. It's done then?
It's done, they are gone.
Indeed. We checked the caves and found only a couple of bodies. Perhaps the Shirak ate them. It is just as good, I suppose. The lesson is learned, I believe. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor.
I have the sword of Ajunta Pao.
Ah, finally, the genuine sword. I knew that this relic would be unearthed in time. I can feel the power flowing through it.
We should have kept that. It could have made a...
Quiet, remember where we are.
Well done. You have impressed me greatly. You have impressed me enough, by my estimation, to become a Sith in full. Congratulations, young one. You have bested the others quite completely. You have but one final test which you must take, and this requires us to travel to the tomb of Nagasado, in the Valley of the Dark Lords. I would advise you to be rested and equipped before we leave. Return to your quarters now and seek me out in the morning. When you return, make sure that you have all you will need, for you will face your test alone. Go, and may the Force serve you well.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have given it to him, given that that was the last thing I needed to do. Oh well.
What are you doing here? Go back to Uthar and tell him you are ready to take your final test. Our moment is at hand. Go.
So then, I take it you are ready to travel to the tomb of Nagasado. Your final test should not be delayed.
What is the tomb of Nagasado?
It is a tomb that belonged to an ancient Sith Lord. The greatest of Korriban's Sith Lords, in fact. It is there that your test is performed.
What is the final test?
I will tell you the details when we are there, young one. You will, however, fight for your life. That is why I suggest you be in sufficient health.
I'm ready.
Then we go now.
A day passes in preparation. Uta then takes you and Yuthura to the Sith tomb. Your companions are not permitted to join you.
Very well. We are now ready for your final test, young Sith. You have earned the right to see if you shall become one of us.
Indeed you have.
Is that a tone of mischief in your voice, dear Yuthura? You should know by now that no scheme is certain.
As should you, my master. But I was only agreeing with you. Should we not get on with the test?
Yes. Yes, of course. We are in the sacred tomb of Nagasado, young one. The one discovered by Darth Malak and Darth Revan years ago. You are to follow in their footsteps and reach the ancient star map that lies deep within. There you will find a lightsaber, amongst other things. The lightsaber is for you, your initiation present. Return to us once you have it. For you, the test does not end there.
Be very cautious here. This tomb is like the others in this valley, and many of its old defenses remain active.
Do you understand what I have told you? Are you ready to begin?
Can you tell me about what I will face?
No, that is part of the test. Overcome the obstacles that lie ahead on your own.
Well, find the star map, return with the lightsaber, and I understand.
Good. Yuthura and I will await your return.
There are 3 pillars that have electronic readouts showing energy levels for the 4 systems. The controls show that the systems can be transferred to other pillars. Caution, some of the systems are very delicate and improper transfer of power can cause an electrical overload. In order to unseal the chamber, all the following 4 systems must be transferred to the right pillar. Yeah, so this is basically Towers of Hanoi, which is a staple of BioWare design. All power has been successfully transferred. The room has been unsealed. Monument to Nagasado. Nagasado's poisoned blade. Pillars of ice and fire. This datapad appears to be a journal of a Sith, who quite obviously did not make it past that portion of the final test. Most of it consists of the Sith account of gaining enough prestige with Master Uta to take the test. Only the final entry appears to concern the test itself. It seems I need to get across a pool of acid in the central chamber if I am to continue with my test. But this is not going to be easy. The runes name one obelisk Pillar of Fire while the other the Pillar of Ice. I can only assume one of the pillars leads to a way to remove the acid. Fire or ice? Wouldn't fire create toxic fumes? I'm not sure, maybe freezing the pool would be safer. Well, I'll worry about that once I bypass the Tarantatak beasts. If I can. I suppose it's now or never. The door is locked. Okay, there's a lever. Pillar of fire. A special fire grenade. Pillar of ice. Special cold grenade. Shaila Nur Journal. This datapad is a personal journal of the Jedi Shaila Nur. Here's the last entry that is particularly compelling. I have tracked the Tarantatak that have ambushed us in the Shira caves to this tomb, but even as I stand at the entrance, I know this is wrong. Dark thoughts fill my mind. Hatred and vengeance cannot stop. Hatred and vengeance. I cannot stop myself from blaming Gunhan for Duran's death. If he had not abandoned us, my love surely would have survived the Tarantatak's first attack, but my hatred of Gunhan pales besides my burning desire for vengeance. My blood boils to destroy the creatures that have ended Duran's life no matter what the cost. I know such thoughts are those of the dark side, but I cannot help them. Even the second set of tracks outside the cave cannot dissuade me from my task. 1 Tarantatak, 2, 1,000, it makes no difference to me now. The only image I see is that of Duran's broken body, and only blood can cleanse it from my mind. I hope my master will forgive me for what I am about to do. Throw a special cold grenade at it. The pool freezes over and is now walkable. Okay, so it seems to now point to something specific.
So, you return to us with the lightsaber in hand, as I knew you would.
The Force has served you well.
You took a great risk in acquiring the artifact. You used your mind and your power. No peaceful meditation, no pacifism. Sometimes you must fight in order to achieve. This gives you your passion. This makes you stronger. This is what makes you superior. That is the lesson we teach with that part of the final test. Do you understand?
Well, the Sith are not the only ones who fight and take risks.
True, but most would say they fight only when they must, or not at all. We are the ones who know that struggle is what makes us superior.
Well, I don't feel superior to anyone. I don't believe you.
If you came to the Academy, you must have felt the stirrings within you that cry out for the freedom of the dark side, that cry out for release. I can only show you the path that will lead to power and superiority. You have followed it this far. You must decide if you are capable of continuing.
And if I am not?
This is where your path ends, young one. There is no turning back once you have embarked on it.
Well, whatever number 4 is.
Good. The last part of your test will now commence. Here, you will learn the lesson of competition. All life must compete in order to flourish. Such is the natural way of the universe. To stand still is to know death. One must always be moving forward. So it is the same amongst the Sith. Compete or die. Mercy is irrelevant. So it behooves you in this final test to strike down one you are familiar with, for no other reason than to prove you are superior and without mercy. Normally, this would be against another student. You, however, get a special treat. You will fight Yuthura here, my own apprentice.
You talk too much, old fool.
So, you know, do you? Well, it makes no difference. You have become too ambitious, Yuthura. It is time for you to die.
No, it is time for you to die, Master. My pupil stands with me.
Sadly, Yuthura, it is you who are mistaken. Your pupil is more ambitious than you realize. Isn't that so, young one?
Well, I'm with Yuthura on this one because she's much more sympathetic of a character, and maybe I can convince her to renounce the Sith. Like, she has held on to her compassion for the slaves, which is pretty noble of an emotion, so I choose Yuthura.
Do you hear that, my master? That is the sound of a new leader rising to replace you.
So the time has come, has it? You both wish to stand against a Sith Master and perish, do you? Then so be it.
Empire is finished, and a new order is brought to the Academy. Excellent. While I do like you, truly, I'm afraid I'm not the type to share power with anyone, even you.
Are you sure there's no other way than this?
I'm sure. I told you there was no such thing as friends among the Sith, didn't I? Let's get this over with.
Damn it, I seem to vaguely remember that there was a way to spare her. That's a pity that I have to kill her. She's pretty sympathetic in her own way.
Stop. I yield. You are too strong for me. I was a fool to think otherwise. I have choice.
You ask for mercy, you, a Sith?
I suppose I am. Something tells me that you are not like the other students. I don't know why that is. I was right the first time back at the cantina, wasn't I? There is something different about you. More so than I even suspected.
Well, I'm not here to become a Sith. I got what I came for.
I didn't think you were here to train. Not really. I should have realized that sooner. So what happens now? Will you show me mercy? Will you just let me leave?
Well, tell me why you tried to kill me first.
I had no choice. You reminded me too much of a time before I became a Sith. I didn't want to think about that.
But maybe you should think about that.
I suppose you could be right. All the things I wanted to do, all the wrongs I wanted to right, I haven't done any of it. They just get farther and farther from my mind. All I've cared about is power and myself. This isn't the person I was.
There's still time to change that.
You're right. Maybe what I needed most was peace after all. The Jedi tried to show me that. I don't know if I can ever go back to them, but my place isn't here. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that. You have a destiny, my friend, and I wish you well on your way to it. May the Force be with you.
Okay, so I did remember it correctly. I didn't have to kill her.
You there! How is it that you're leaving Naga Sadow's tomb by yourself? You went in for your final test, didn't you? Where is Master Uthar?
Well, he's dead. I killed him.
What? You? But you aren't even a Sith yet. Surely you jest.
Well, I'm no Sith at all. Actually, now move aside.
It's a spy! Quick, to arms!
But if the spy was able to kill Master Uthar...
Don't be such a coward! Kill the traitor! Do it now!
Where are all of my advanced medkits?
Sure. What?
You know what? I'll buy that suit of armor. Although, no, because I want to see what things Suvam Tam has on the Avin 4. Because he would get new inventory now that I'm finished with another planet.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
What do you know about this planet?
I don't know anything about Korriban, but I get a bad feeling in this place. If there's such a thing as an evil planet, this is it. Sorry I can't be more help, you know. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I want to talk about me being Revan.
Okay. Hey there, what can I do for you?
I want to talk about me being Revan.
It seems to me that if you don't really remember anything about being Revan, then it doesn't really matter anymore.
It doesn't bother you?
I don't see the Sith Lord standing here. I see a friend who's been with us through thick and thin. Big Z and I will stick by you.
Okay, so she just repeats herself.
Yeah, what do you want?
Tell me more about the Mandalorian Wars.
The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it.
And how much did you lose?
There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. The Republic's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor. Only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now.
You found work as a mercenary?
Yeah, I found word on Taris. Enforcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting.
Opponents who could easily kill us.
Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Either way, I think that by following you, I can get something out of it. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
Okay, that'll be all.
As you desire, Master. Signing off.
Got something on your mind?
Know anything about this place?
Korriban's a rock. I'm the Sith, and that's about all I got to say about that. Now, let's get going.
You mentioned something about your wife before?
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't mean to pry, but...
Yes, you do. You may mean well enough, but my private affairs are just that. Private. Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten.
Is that why you went to Kashyyyk?
Partly, maybe. I doubt I could ever explain it to you fully, even if I wanted to. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love, I mean, and not simple infatuation.
Well...
Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life, perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of overcaution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true.
Well, that's what I have always thought.
Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely old man who's not even a Jedi.
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
You do you? I wouldn't listen too closely. I'm no authority on anything. I just think that the greatest things in life shouldn't be avoided because they come with a few complications. Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect, eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. What determines the dark side's hold over you.
So what happened between you and your wife then?
I haven't changed my mind. I'm still not going to talk about it. You go and find your own love if you want to know so badly. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you and the one you love simply aren't meant to be together. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking in riddles, damn it.
Is there something you want? Well, apparently not.
My Cathar blood seethes at the thought of that man still running free. I cannot stand still while I think about it, but I will not give in to the dark side either. He will pay for his crimes, though. He will most likely be following us. Me. If we could find him first, then he may not be able to set in motion whatever he has in store for us. My Cathar blood, he...
Okay, so she's stuck in her quest phase, and I guess I need to find that Zor and deal with him.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Know anything about this place?
Korriban's a desolate world and a Sith planet. There's only one small colony here, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's all I can think of at any rate. You got it.
Well, that's the mysterious box that I'm not supposed to open, but I will open it. And apparently it takes you to the Matrix. What? Someone else came to my prison? Already? So very long time and nothing. Then in a span of mere months, 3 in a row. What sheer luck. Well, let's have a look at you. Biped, more or less symmetrical. Far less hair than the last one. Opposite digits. Mostly water, hey? I suppose you'll have to do. Mind telling me who and what you are? I am a prisoner here, as are you, yes indeed, though I suspect by accident rather than by sentence, yes? I was put here on purpose. My own people put our criminals in little cages like this. Well, our minds anyway. For the terrible criminals like me, our minds get locked away forever. How long have I been here now? No, longer than that. I have never been very good with numbers. What did you do to get imprisoned in here? I led a war, well, a rebellion really, though details would hardly interest you. Many of my kin died, and I'm responsible, or so they said. This is a prison? Can you think of a better prison than one without walls? What does your species use? Cages, I suppose. Is there no way out of here? Well, there is. Now that is the most interesting question. Yes, indeed. I've been here long enough to ponder that. How many years now? 1,000? 2,000? I couldn't even remember the numbers, even when I kept track. The point is, I know a way out of this clever little prison. Interesting that, wouldn't you say? Well, out? Out to where? If you get out of here, your body's probably dead. How clever of you to realize that. Indeed, you are correct. Your body, however, is not. Now, before you get off all excited and defensive, let me tell you that I can't go jumping into your body without your willing agreement. Conversely, you can't go jumping back into your own body without my knowledge. This leaves us as something of an impasse, wouldn't you agree? Look, you're not getting my body. But I already said I could only take your body if you were willing. I believe I did. We're still communicating, correct? It's like this, dear sentient. If you like, we could spend the next 1,000 years debating. You want out, I want out. I could go on and on. Unless your species is remarkably long-lived, I doubt your body has 1,000 years. And frankly, I doubt either of us is going to convince the other of anything, yes? So why waste the time? A simple competition between the two of us will settle the matter. You win, you go free. I win, I go free, yes? How do I know I can trust you? You have no reason not to trust me now. If I were to betray you, you would never trust me again, and we would be stuck here arguing forever. Well, what sort of competition do you mean? I have a clue as to which activities you are superior at. You are at the same I have little clue as to what activities you're superior at. You're similar to... So the best game is the one of mind, an exchange of riddle, perhaps. The first to get the answer... The first of us to fail at an answer loses. What do you think of that? Well, I don't seem to have much of a choice. No, don't be fussy. I seem to be moving fast simply because I have had an overabundance of time to consider this scenario. This being the case, and seeing how this is technically my home, I'll go first. Let's see. Until I am measured, I am not known, yet you miss me when I have flown. Yeah, I think it's time. Yes, I suppose that was a very easy one. Perhaps I should have used all the time to think of harder riddle, hey? Fair is fair, sentient. Your turn. If you break me, I do not stop working. If you touch me, I may be snared. If you lose me, nothing will matter. There are not many things that keep working when they're broken. Oh yes, your heart. Heart is the answer. Very clever, sentient, but it is my turn once again. I never was, yet I always will be. I am never seen, yet I always come. I carry nothing, yet hold much for some. Tomorrow. Yes, you have the right of it. Tomorrow it is. Fair is fair, sentient. Your turn. What has roots as nobody sees is taller than the trees. Up it goes, and yet never it grows. What manner of plant could that be? It does not grow, so it's not plant at all. It's a mountain, yes, that's what it is. Very clever, sentient, but it's my turn once again. He who makes me has no need of it. Who buys it has no use for it. Who uses it has no knowledge of it. Maybe air? Although, can you buy air? Yeah, like, I guess, in this sense, buying air would be buying nothing. The problem is, I don't know what's option 4. Which, because the air doesn't, who uses it doesn't have knowledge of it. That's kind of stupid. Because you do have knowledge that you need oxygen to breathe. Like, what does that even mean? You know, it would be helpful if I knew what option number 4 is. But let's say air. You're wrong. A grave is the answer to bury the dead. Contest is over already. Fair is fair. I go free. With luck, you will sometimes find a body of your own, yes? So don't despair, but do hold still. Okay, I got possessed. Well, that's a that's a pity, to be sure. Yeah, it's a bit inconvenient that I couldn't see the last answer. Okay, so he who makes it has no need for it, who buys it has no use for it, who uses it has no knowledge of it. Grave. A grave it is, though I likely never see one. Your turn. You've heard of me before, yet you hear me again, then I die until you call me again. What an odd riddle. Hear again and then call again. An echo? It is an echo. Very clever, but it's my turn. I'm always hungry. I must always be fed. The finger I lick will soon turn red. That's a flame. It's true. I wasn't sure if you blistered as we did, but it appears you do. So be it. Your turn. Flying to Dantooine, I meet 5 ships. Each ship has 5 crewmen, each crewman 5 pets. How many in all are flying to Dantooine? No, not numbers. Never have I been good with numbers. Let me think. 5 times 5 and then the 1. No. Carry the 2. 94? 96? Is it 96? It's 1. I'm the only one flying to Dantooine. Fooled I had been, fooled myself. Very clever of you. You have won. It appears my destiny is to be imprisoned even longer. Are you ready to return to your body, sentient? Before I go, I could try to find some other way of getting you out of here. I doubt you could help. My people made quite certain that escaping those prisons would be a very difficult prospect, you know. It took me as long as I've been here to figure out the only exit, and even then, I'm sure it only happened because my prison is no longer secure. And I do have to wonder how that happened. Are my people still about? If they were, I can't see they'd let my prison loose so easily. But even if they are gone, I doubt I would be able to find a way to release me. I suppose I'll have to wait until someone comes who is not as proficient at riddles as you are. Before I go, what is your name? My name? It's... How do you like that? I've completely forgotten. I think I knew it 1,000 years ago. I guess I've been here so long I've forgotten. That's depressing. Well, I'm ready to go. There's nothing complicated to it. It's better for me to just show you than teach you. Just close your eyes for a moment, sentient. The box doesn't seem to be active anymore. Perhaps it can only be used once by each owner. Okay, I'm ready to leave, but I will do so next time because this episode has been long enough. So I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!